Hello and welcome to another edition of AttractWell Office Hours. I'm Coach Ashley, joined today by founder of AttractWell, Greg Kilwine. Hey, Greg.
Hey, everybody. We're so glad you're here today.
We are so thrilled to have you here today. We kind of have a double whammy to work with here today. Our main topic here is how to organize and clean up your tags. And of course, we'll be talking about what tags are and maybe some tagging strategies if you guys want to get into discussion about that, list segmentation, that kind of thing. But then we also have two live work reviews, one of which was a special request to give some assistance on making a website look a little bit more mobile friendly. So if that's something that you're interested in learning more about, be sure to stay tuned to the close of this call where we'll be going into greater depth on that and meeting with another member of our community who's looking for some hands-on help today. So as you're coming in, let us know where in the world you are and what you do. We're always thrilled to know more about the amazing community that is growing of AttractWell users. If you are not actively a part of the social aspect of this community, and that would be in our Facebook group, highly encourage you to come and join us. We'll have links in the description. And Greg, if you know that, I can't rattle it off the top of my head readily, but we're going to pop that in, thank you, into the chat. So yeah, welcome you guys. We're thrilled to have you here today. So what we're going to get into first is really sort of a basic feature, but a very, very important feature of your AttractWell system. And we're going to share a new feature. We did preview it last week, but we're going to get into a little bit more detail about how you can manage this really important organizational feature of how you run your business with AttractWell using our tags manager today. So without further ado, I'm going to get into some slides. So we're going to get out a video. We'll be back to join you here after we go through some of this screen sharing we're about to do. And by the way, if you have questions, please make sure that you put those into the Q&A if you have anything that you'd like to have addressed directly, just to make sure that we don't miss anything that you are asking. All right, so today we're talking about how to organize and manage or clean up the tags in your list with the AttractWell Tags Manager. Now, depending on what kind of CRM or database management you've used in the past, you might know tags as a term, or this might resonate with maybe a similar term that you used previously. So this is going to be an opportunity today to learn a little bit about how this specific feature works in AttractWell, so you can start to kind of see how you can maximize its use for your own organizational purposes using AttractWell. So what we'll get into today are what tags are, where they show up in AttractWell, and thus where you can see where where stuff is being applied automatically, that kind of stuff. We're going to talk about where this happens manually and automatically specifically. We're going to get into the AttractWell Tags Manager, which makes your life super easy if you ever realize that maybe you misspelled something and it's applied to half your contacts, or if you or maybe changing your offer or refining the way that you are running your organizational systems, and you want to make sure that things are set up the way that you want them to. We're going to learn how to get that done today. We also will have some discussion here for tagging strategies. So if you are looking to better segment your list or organize your pipeline or whatever that might look like for you, we can discuss that here today to your heart's content. And then of course, we've got live help and Q&A with two people who have actually signed up for a live work review. As mentioned before, one of whom is not here in person, but has requested that we do a little demonstration on how we can go about making a website look more mobile friendly, which is exciting. So if you have not done so already, head over to the chat. Let us know what you do. Who do you serve? What is your business? I'd love to learn more about you. And of course, give you guys the opportunity to meet each other, because we're all here for a reason. And some of those are because we share some similar values. I think you got some friends to make here. There's some awesome people in this crew. So go ahead and head over to the chat, get to know each other. And if you came here today looking for help with a AttractWell related question, or just a business related question generally, and you want some help, add that to the Q&A, and we are here to do our best to support you on your journey. If you want to work together live, as two people have opted to do today, you can go to attractwell.com/work review and set up a date in the future on one of our live Thursday calls when you are able to work one-on-one with us. And of course, if you want to join this live call, we're on Zoom every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern. You can go to attractwell.com/office hours, and you'll be the first to know about upcoming topics, be the first to get resources that are released that you can use in your own system. And of course, you'll know about when we go live, get the link on Zoom, and you'll get the replay. All right, so for those of us who are here, how are we using tags? Is this something that you feel good about? Is it familiar to you? Is it something that you've maybe done before using other tech platforms? What does this look like for you? Go ahead and share your experience with organizing your contacts or your list here in the chat. What does that look like for you? It's a foreign language to you, huh? That's okay. We're going to make this really simple and easy for you today. So what tags are in AttractWell is they're basically an organizational feature, right, of the AttractWell Contact Manager. So we are kind of at our core, we're wearing a couple of hats, right? We've got a contact manager that really is sort of at the beating heart of our business, but that contact manager allows you to use AttractWell like a traditional CRM, but also like a database management system from which you can send out email marketing, you know, to a significant scale, right? So you can manage your lists, have conditional response, all kinds of powerful stuff that you might want to, you know, you may have previously purchased 7 different platforms to be able to achieve. You can do that all in AttractWell in one place. And part of the reason why you're able to do this is because we have this organizational feature called tags, right? So you can use these tags on your contacts to segment your list. You can use them to organize your pipeline so that you can tell who is in what stage of your pipeline, if that's how you work your business. You can also organize people by their interests. You can organize them by where they came from. Did you meet them at a talk on a certain date or at a certain place? Are they a referral, and from whom? That kind of information you can use in how you organize your contacts using tags. So you get to choose how this works for you. If you're somebody who doesn't do a great deal of list building with digital marketing, but perhaps you do a lot of networking and you want to make sure that you always know who is at what stage of moving toward a close, you can use us that way. If you are a dedicated digital marketer, you could use us that way, right? So no matter how manual, how automatic, you are setting yourself up to use AttractWell, these tags are flexible in how you go about getting that set up for your ideal organizational system. All right, so let's talk about where we're going to find tags in your AttractWell system. First, of course, in the contact manager, right? Because these tags are here for you to be able to see who is who and to group folks together and know so that you are able to take the right actions, right? So in the contact manager, you're going to be able to add tags when you're importing new contacts into your system. So let's just say, for instance, you have been using another software previously and you have that list segmented already, then you would be, per each title segment of your list, you would be importing a CSV of those contacts with that associated, designated tag included, right? So that way you can have your list of clients, your list of leads, your list of referral sources, etc. This was also something you're going to find in the contact filter. So if you go to My Contacts in AttractWell, there is a filter button. And when you click that, you've got the option to filter for lots of things, including tags. You're going to find these tags as well on your contact cards. So if you are perhaps about to have a call with a lead or with a client, and you want to actually see how they fit in organizationally as it pertains to them versus others on your list, you'll be able to see those the tags on the cards there. You'll also see settings for tags in your landing pages and your page settings. This is because when somebody opts in or fills out a form on a page or a landing page, you're able to add a tag to them automatically, right? Automations are another really cool way to manage your tags. This is something, if you're using automations, you can use them to automatically add or remove a tag from a contact, either based on a contact's action. So as an example, maybe they haven't been opening your emails for 90 days and you want to send them an "is this goodbye" email. And then of course you want to have a link in there that they can click and say, "keep me on the list," right? So they could click, and that maybe adds a new tag, or it removes that "delete them" tag, right? "Delete them tomorrow" tag, or whatever it is that you're using, so that you can keep them there. Or another instance here is if you are tracking your digital pipeline, maybe a sales funnel or something like that, where somebody is opted in to receive information about a free thing that you have, and you want to kick off a sales sequence after somebody has received the final email, right? So in that case, you could add a tag so that you know that this person has started receiving sales messages. And then of course that automation could also start sending a new campaign, which is pretty cool. Okay, so what this looks like in your system is that when you are importing your contacts, so when you've uploaded your CSV file, this is one of the options you'll see. You can choose to add tags to all of the people who are in the file, or if you have a list that is maybe constantly updating. So let's just say, for instance, you're a brand partner or a representative of another company, where you're sort of managing your customer relations with folks who signed up for that company via you or your link or what have you, then of course that's something you'd be maintaining using AttractWell on an ongoing basis. So in some cases, you may not want to add tags to all of the people you're uploading because they're already in your system, but you want to make sure you're tagging the new folks with something specific so that you're sending out a welcome message, for instance. Another thing that you can do with your imported contacts here is to remove tags, which is all pretty interesting things, right? You can import your contacts and of course add or remove tags to all or newly created folks when you do so. We also, as mentioned, have this filters button that you can click. And when you go to click that button, you'll see this pop up here where you can go and select tags and choose any number of tags. You can filter for all or any, right? So if they have any of these tags, that would be everything, right? Or if they have both of these tags or all 5 of these tags that you put into this field. You also can exclude tags, which is pretty cool too. Let's just say, for instance, you want to send out a promotional email to all of your subscribers, but you want to make sure that people who are already your clients don't receive that marketing message because they've already bought, right? In which case you would have your general mailing list tag would be the one that you would filter for first, and then you would exclude your client tag. And that would allow you to only send this message to the people who need to see it. You also have tags on contact cards. The furthest left over here is what this looks like just in your list of contact cards in your system. But if you were to click on that contact and open up their contact card, you see a whole page show up. In the top left-hand corner, you will see an edit option on the sort of little snapshot of the contact card. When you click that here, then that's going to open up a new page where you can edit your contact. When you are creating a contact, you'll have this option here as well. And of course, when you're creating a contact or you want to edit your contact, you can go in and modify the tags that you want to include. So in this particular case, this is somebody who's maybe I met him at a tech expo, because there it says tech expo. He did sign up to be a client and he wants my blog post updates. So I just went ahead manually in this case and added him to all of those things. Another way you'll find tags, I'm sorry, this says contact cards, forgive me. This is on landing pages. When you go to landing pages or pages, you can go to settings here, go to leads, and then you can actually add your tags there in that bottom field. And then, of course, we have automations here as well. And I can go and show you this stuff in the system here because I know that might be a little confusing visually. Did put those together pretty quickly here today. So let me actually get over here into AttractWell and show you just really quick those last few. So here in your landing pages, let's take a look at that. You can find tags in your landing pages. Take any page that you've maybe already created, or you could create a new one. Let's find one that we've already created. Under settings here, you can add tags. And so when somebody fills out a form on this page that you've shared, perhaps you've offered a freebie from your blog or your email or social or wherever you're showing up, we can add existing tags. So in this case, I could say client, or they're not going to sign up as a client off of a landing page. I'll just say lead. How about that? And then we'll say this is Crunchy because that's the name of this this freebie. So when somebody signs up on this page, they're going to get tagged with those tags, right? So let's go and actually look at our dashboard and you can see this. All right, you can see here, there's me. I just visited the website a few seconds ago. And now you can see that lead and Crunchy are both here. And I have signed up for blog post updates previously, right? So we can go in and edit these tags here, which is pretty cool. We can close some of these out. Maybe I don't want to give her blog post updates, and we can save this. You can also modify tags or choose how tags are applied to people on pages on your site, which is right here. In this particular case, let's go to a home page where I know we've got a freebie option up at the top. That's not the one. We'll go to this one. So this one here, where you see we're offering something, we've got a form here where somebody fills out their information. The way that we can modify that, oops, there we are, is we're going to open that up. We're going to go to settings, go to leads, and we'll scroll right down here. And this is where we can have lead, we could have homepage lead, right? This, I only want to go for people who signed up off of the homepage. I'm offering a challenge. You could have challenge in here, etc. So anybody who signs up here, when they do, their contact card is going to include these tags. Finally, as promised, we're going to go to our contact settings and go to automations. And we'll take a look at an automation that's already created. Here's an example, keep me on the list. There we go. So we want to keep people on the active email list. Basically what we've done here is we've given it a name. We've added an action. We are going to add a tag. You can also remove a tag here, which is pretty cool. And of course, in this case, I would copy this and I would link to this, right? And this is, when you see this, it looks like this when you paste it. That's going to go in the URL field. And so what you would do is you'd send out an email in this case, and it would have, click this button if you want to stay on the list. And when they click it, it's going to tag them with active email list, right? So that person is not going to get removed if you're cleaning your list. One final thing that I want to share with you is you can bulk add and remove tags as well. That's going to be under your actions here, under contacts, and that's bulk contact actions. And of course, in this case, we can add or remove. So let's just say, for instance, you want to move everybody who is a client and you want to rename or you want to add everyone who is a client onto VIP, for instance, because you have a new VIP offering, right? So in this case, we'll go to bulk contact actions and we'll add, if we have filtered already for the right contacts, we're going to add the tag VIP, right? And of course, we can apply that. And now all those people are going to have it. So let's actually try that. Filter for client. And we're going to give these folks an additional tag. Go to bulk contact actions and add in VIP. So apply. And as soon as this refreshes, you will see that all of those contacts have the tags on them. All right, and let me see. Let me open up a new one here. Here we go. My browser has been really slow lately. Okay, so now we want to go and let's talk about our tags manager, right? So where do we go to find that? That's going to be right over here under contact settings and go to contact tags. You could also go right up here and type in the word tags, and you can go straight to it using the search feature. So now you can see that I've got all of these tags that I can update. And obviously some of them are silly, right? I've used them just for a demonstration, but maybe in some cases I want to, maybe I had a typo, right? Or I want to let me just get rid of that thing. I don't need it anymore. Well, if I don't need it anymore, January 2022 is far gone. I'm going to delete that tag. And now everybody who had that tag is no longer going to have that tag, right? Maybe I misspelled something and I want to edit the tag. And in this case, I'm going to just, change that. And now it's going to reflect, and where that shows up on your people, that's going to show up here as well. If you have bukus of these, if you have lots and lots and lots of them, you can search for your tag here, of course, right? Or you could add a tag, or rather, you're not searching, you're adding a tag. So if I want to add a new tag, you can just go ahead and add one. And then of course, you just want to make sure that that is showing up correctly on your landing pages or wherever you're wanting your automations to apply tags. That is basically it. I do want to make sure we have an opportunity to chat really quickly about strategies. If you have questions about tags, let's go ahead and get to those. And then we're going to get into the live help here. Yulia says, can I use tags to know where the leads are coming from Lead Magnet on Instagram or Google search or YouTube? Yes, there is a way to do this, but what you're going to want to do is use a dedicated landing page or page for each of those sources. So let's just say, for instance, you create a funnel where you're giving away one free thing. Now you could have that on your homepage where you're going to have homepage lead and you're going to have lead, because you want every lead to be a lead, right? And then maybe also, music theory offer. So you know what the thing was that they opted in for and where they opted in. Now, what you would do is you would create a separate page or a separate landing page that is specifically for that audience source. So if you're going to be doing Google ads, for instance, and you want to promote this landing page, then you're going to create a copy of your landing page that you have for maybe other sources, and you're going to have it named Google or something like that somewhere in a title for your purposes. And the tag that's going to apply is going to be Google lead, right? Similar for other types of advertising. You're just basically going to replicate the same page, and then you're going to be able to apply that tag so that you could see that attribution there. Let's see. So many great great comments here, and I want to make sure I'm not missing any questions. Okay, Susan, I just imported 245 contacts and forgot to put a tag on them. Is there a simple way to add that tag now? Yeah, absolutely. Is that 245? Is that everyone that's currently in your contact manager, or is that just some people? If it is everyone, no, just some. Okay, so what I would do in this case is I would take that same CSV file of 245 people, re-upload it, and then include a tag. It's not going to make a duplicate contact. It's just going to update those contacts with that tag, because they are already all in your system. The only way that you're going to find them is to apply a tag to all of them. And that would be, I think, the fastest and easiest way to do that. Good question. Can you give a flow idea, like each individual lead, customers, business partners? How would you best advise? So it depends on your business. It really depends on your business and how you go about acquiring new leads and new customers. So, just as an example, if people are opting in to get free stuff from your website and those are leads from online, and that's how you're primarily going about getting leads for your business, then you're going to want to make sure that lead is on all in all tag fields where you're giving away free things, where those people would be your leads, right? If you are, if your pipeline is such that you need to reach a certain point in a conversation before you made an offer, right? So you're in the rapport stage, then you're in the offer stage, then you're in the closing stage, right? Now, if you aren't in the launch challenge, this is something I'm going to be getting into in workshop 2. It's totally free. All you have to do is have an AttractWell account. Go to your account settings, and get yourself into the launch challenge. I'm going to go into the details of this and can work with you individually on it if you guys join that. So yeah, so what you would do is when you initiate a conversation with someone, or however that conversation starts, because this is going to be you in conversation throughout this pipeline, it's not fully automated. What you're going to do is that when you have that initial conversation and that person is sort of an active lead for you, you're going to go into their contact and you're going to edit their contact to include that rapport stage lead, right? And then once you've made an offer, you're going to remove that rapport stage lead tag and you're going to add the tag offer stage, right? Or however you would personally define that process. And then as you're having these conversations, you can filter for who all am I in the rapport stage with. Maybe I want to invite them to this free thing that I'm doing, or maybe I want them, because they don't really know me that well yet, I want them to know that I'm going to be doing a live on Friday on Facebook. And I'd love for them to, to come and say hi or something like that, right? And that way you can just have more targeted communications that way. Okay, would you ever have a campaign that goes out to all leads, trying to understand why the tags aren't custom to offers, like use Crunchy lead versus Crunchy and lead versus Crunchy lead? Ah, okay, yeah. So yeah, the reason why I use those tags separately is because I may have, here's, why being crunchy will change your life. That's one lead source. But maybe I have another freebie that is a workshop replay. And so I'm going to have workshop replay and lead, right? So I'll know what they opted in of mine. So I'll know where they came from. That's going to tell me, like this is also using tags is how you can track your efficacy and your conversion and things like that for the offers that you're putting out there as well, if that's where you're at and what you're trying to do in following those metrics. Using tags in this way, especially adding and removing tags with the automations feature, that's something that if you are running Facebook ads, if you're doing any retargeting, that kind of thing, that's going to be a really powerful feature for you to use as well. So, sometimes you do want to send something out to all leads. So if you are including a little bit of subtext when somebody's signing up to get a free thing from you, that they're also agreeing to get your regular updates, then all leads are also going to be your general mailing list, right? So that would be an instance to send something out to all leads. Or if some people are like, if that workshop was not really about crunchy green DIY goddess things, it was maybe about kids, and not everybody who is this is also that, right? I might want to send something just out to the kids people if that's something that I do, but it's not all of my audience. And so that's why you would keep those separate tags. Good questions. Okay, so we chatted about some tag strategies. Let me see. Got another question here in the chat. Been able to attend the live calls so far. The link from yesterday's email took me to the vault that contains the courses. Okay, yeah. So just really quick, Mary, I'll show you how you can get access. Once you have clicked either the link that Greg has shared in the chat already, or if you go over, you have to be an AttractWell community member to get access to this. So it's just a little bit of an extra step. Go to your settings and scroll down and you'll see the AttractWell Launch Challenge. When you click this and you sign up for it, that's going to give you access, right? And where you're going to access it is at attractwell.com/members. Bookmark this page, okay? And everything that you have access to is going to show up in here. AttractWell Launch Challenge, that's what we're talking about right now. You're going to see all the information you need in here. So the Start Here page gives you everything you need to know. Make sure that you go and click here. Please make sure you click here so you get reminders for the upcoming calls. And then if you want to watch the most recent replay, which I highly recommend that you do, we've got our kickoff call from last week and yesterday's live call right here, including the slides and all kinds of good stuff. So definitely do your business a favor and watch that for sure. Okay, so what I would like to do, absolutely, Mary, I hope you'll come join us there. And also, guys, if you have any other questions, please try to make sure they go into the Q&A, because I don't think I'm missing anybody, but I want to make sure that I don't miss anybody. Okay, so what I'd like to do first, because you are here live, Susan, let's bring you out and let's chat about what you are looking for help with. And then I will close out by heading over to Jessica Blankenship's website. She's got an awesome art subscription, and we're going to look at making a couple of her pages a little bit more mobile friendly. Hi, Susan.
Hi, how are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm great. Okay. So big picture, I've been here a lot, and so I am an attorney, and I coach attorneys on mental enthusiasm, mental well-being. And I was on a different platform, came over to this platform. I'm really good with Canva. So I tried using your platform to create my website, and then Canva came out with this new feature to create a website, and it was a no-brainer. So I've created a website. And my first question is, do I need to somehow link that to AttractWell?
Well, what does the Canva website do?
It is a place that people can come and quickly see my identity, my brand, they can click onto what I offer, and they can sign up for a freebie that I give away. It's very short and sweet.
When they sign up for something, where does that lead go? Like how are you able to track where people go?
That's a really good question, because I just launched it. So I'm not positive where those, they sign up I have a little handout, 5 strategies to prevent burnout, blah, 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 and they can sign up for it. And I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah. So that means it's not as much of a no-brainer as you think, because there's another thing, and that's a really important thing, Susan. You gotta yeah. You're not gonna get your leads. Okay. So here's my view on this is obviously if you're comfortable with Canva, that's awesome. There's so many great things you can do with Canva. What Canva is not is, well, anything other than a graphic design interface that spits out beautifully designed stuff that you make, or that you get other people to do for you, whatever. And so there are interesting and novel ways to use it. Long term, 100% the best thing that you can do is build a website, period. Because if you built something through Canva, it's not your website. It's a Canva design. And so, you're not building SEO authority, you're not capturing your own leads. And so while there is definitely, some challenge and some uphill climb, there's, obviously the opportunity to chat with our team at attractwell.com/concierge if you want like somebody to maybe take your Canva design that you really like and make that into a gorgeous functional page on your AttractWell site. That's doable. But the way that I see Canva best utilized on an AttractWell site is 2 ways. Number one, you need to have free stuff that you give away, right? You need to have, some PDFs and things like that, or even, slides for video content and that kind of thing. Canva is perfect for that. You've got your brand kit, plug and play, etc. You get that all set up really nicely. The other thing that Canva, I find personally, is indispensable for is populating and creating the graphics that you need to fill out your website, right? Yeah. So you need to have, 4 squares, or they need to be 4 things, same size, with the same kind of font on them, or whatever, with, similar background, similar tones, as a tool to fill out the stuff that your website needs. But yeah, is while you can make something and you can share that thing, and that is a website. It's not, in my view, it's not a long-term solution. So if what you want to do, because done is better than perfect, if what you want to do is have that thing that's made that you like up, and then create a landing page, like a small funnel on your AttractWell system. Use that. So have the call to action and everything that's on that Canva page say, head over here now and get my free thing. And that's your AttractWell site. Ideally, of course, big picture, build the whole thing with us, right? But that would be your way to take the thing that you've got and start, making everything work together.
So again, just to make sure I understand what you're saying, is I'm going to create a landing page. I'll send them from the website to that landing page, and that'll be within AttractWell.
Correct. Okay. Yeah. So
it's a good interim solution. Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that
it's an
too.
interim. Yeah. So you're
Okay.
you got your pretty thing on Canva, just have every call to action there really just kind of narrow down to head over here and get this free thing now. They're going to click it. It's going to take them to your AttractWell website and to specifically a page that says get this thing that you're talking about on this other page. And
Okay.
then of course you just want to make sure, and I'll just show you really quick how this would be set up. Quite simple. What you're going to do is you're going to create a landing page, and that's over here under landing pages. I really like this simple short form. It's just really,
Yeah.
really easy. Just pop
Sure.
whatever the thing is you're giving away here. And then just make sure in your settings that you've written your email that you want to go out, and
Yeah.
that's a campaign. Connect it here, add your appropriate tags here. And then once this is done, when you hit view, that's the URL you're going to link to from that Canva page.
Gotcha. Awesome. Okay. Can I add one more thing?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Another Canva thing. And I have to say, you gave us the ability to connect Canva to AttractWell. So thank you for that. Okay. I also have a newsletter that I know you guys have just recently sent me information on how to do a newsletter in AttractWell, but I'd already done it. So, and maybe I'll just import it over. But what I've done now is I've sort of created a campaign, and in the campaign, I put the newsletter in it as sort of a 3 images, because it's a 3-page newsletter. So when they get that campaign, I haven't sent this out yet. This is just my what I'm doing. They'll open it up. There's a message there, and it says, welcome to the newsletter, and here's, edition 1, and hope you enjoy it. Give me feedback. And then, as I think Greg told me, or somebody sent me, one of your people, that will automatically have an opt out within the campaign. Once I start sending that out, it'll look at it. So is that not? And then I got a template from you. I now see you have a newsletter template, but I obviously didn't use it. But is that okay what I did? Or do you think I need to switch over?
I think it's fine if you're setting those expectations. If your people are expecting, instead of receiving a single digest email from you, if they're expecting to receive 3 days worth of emails from you and you set that expectation clearly,
cool. No, it's not 3 days. It's just one letter is going to go out to them with 3 visuals in it that are the pages of the newsletter.
Oh, okay. So it's just a single, is it called the Sage Attorney Newsletters? Can I pull it up and look at it?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Perfect. So yeah, let's go take a look. Yeah, if it's all one message, even better. Yeah. You don't have to use broadcast email or saved reply. You can just apply a campaign. In this case, even though it just has one message as a monthly newsletter. Absolutely. And in fact, it's a really cool thing you can do, because you can actually filter for the people that you want to send it to.
Right.
And then you can actually set this campaign to begin on the date, which it looks like you've done, which is excellent. So yeah, let's take a look at that real quick. Cool. Yes, this looks awesome. Also awesome. What is this?
Yeah, I know I need to take that out.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because I actually put the newsletter in. I was going to have to go with a link, but I realized I could just insert it right in the.
I see. Okay, got you. So here's what I would do, because there's a lot of text on image here.
Yeah.
And because this is going to send as an image, there is a chance that depending on the device that they're on, they may not be able to see it ideally. So if you specify here, I've attached my newsletter below in image format, make sure you download the images so you can view the information. Just so you can do this. Ideally, we've got all of our text in the email as opposed to in images, but again, done better than perfect. This looks really nice. What you could do, here's what I would do. All right. If you really like the look of this, specify, spell it out. I've included in image format below, but also, because you made this in Canva, I assume. Yeah. Create a PDF of this and attach it to here and tell them that they could click here to download this newsletter as a PDF. Yeah. So that way, because some people don't have images allowed, or they don't upload, and then they'll totally miss everything. So if you have those 2 options, first, obviously saying, I've included this as image. If you would like to see this as a PDF, click here, then you're covering everybody. Okay. And you are really good at Canva. This is excellent.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm just enjoying this really, using your program, using your platform. Thank you.
Well, we're thrilled. We're thrilled. Thanks for coming out and sharing with us. All right, who would like to learn how to make your website more mobile friendly? I'm going to pull up an account here, and we're going to look at the Artful Gathering and make some changes, play around with this and make a website more mobile friendly. Okay, so I'm just going back to double check and make sure homepage or the Artful Kids subscription page. So we're going to go into Jessica's site now. On the back end of her site, we've got a home page. We'll just go ahead and do that first. Here's home. Let's go ahead and view it. Of course, we are on desktop, so it is made to look awesome. Jessica has an art subscription that she offers for families, which is really, really cool. And they get that subscription inside of inside of AttractWell Vaults. So Jessica's got all of this set up here. And what we're going to do is go over here and look at how the page is set up. Now, she was mentioning that she does not love the way that it shows up on mobile. It is kind of set up here for desktop. So here's the hack. If you don't love how it looks on mobile, and you can actually preview how it looks on mobile or tablet with these little buttons right here. Let's go do a phone preview and see what we might want to change. This formatting looks nice. This is fine to keep here, I think. However, these images in the background here aren't really ideal, right? So that may be something that we want to change. Probably want to add a little bit of padding to the top and bottom of this section, just to kind of give just a little bit more space between the font and the border. These look good, but we might want to add some space. So we'll look at that. Again, a little bit of extra padding here to give that section a little bit more space in between. So it's pretty straightforward what we're looking at here. And then finally, and here's an example, this place down here at the bottom, the text is quite large for mobile, but it looks good on desktop. So we're going to make some modifications here for this bottom section. That's the one, that one in particular, we want to make some changes to. So what you want to do, if you love the way something looks on desktop, I want you to duplicate it so that you aren't doing anything to it, right? And we're going to go ahead and make that no longer viewable on mobile, right? And what I did there is I grayed out that one. So this we love on desktop. It's fine on these other device sizes. So we're going to gray it out on mobile so it no longer shows up on mobile. Similarly, I'm going to gray out all of the ways that this same section is showing up here, okay? Now, what we need to do is take care of the image that's here in this back section. So that's going to be achievable by clicking this little pencil right here. And then we need to look through and find, oh, I'm graying out, Peggy, do you see, let me zoom in and show you real quick, just so that we're all on the same page. In each section, see, this is a section, this is a section, that's a section. You'll see the pencil. Next to the pencil, we have icons for mobile, tablet, laptop, desktop. Okay, I'm graying it out by clicking on it. So now it's grayed in, it's good, right? This will show everywhere. Now it's not going to show on mobile. If I didn't want this to show on mobile or tablet, I could click both of those. That's what that looks like. So you just want to make sure that whatever you're graying out here, you do the inverse in the next section so that you don't have a duplicate for anyone who's viewing from whatever device. So I've got no mobile for this one. So that means I'm going to do only mobile in this one. All right, so we're going to edit the background. And let's see if Jessica has some different background images that we might be able to use here that could be good for this purpose. This one might be good, although I don't necessarily love it. And Jess, for you in the for the recording of this, what I would probably encourage you to do for this particular section background is to maybe find an image that isn't a mashup of two. So like this one has two things on it, right? Let me So we've got like two things here. So we're kind of competing. And once we smush this thing down, it's just not going to show the way you want it to. So I would select a single background image here and just let that be whatever it is, right? So I don't know if there is one that we could use for this purpose. Maybe we can. Okay, so how about this, right? Because it is a rental venue and we're actually looking at it right now, which is pretty cool. Now, what we will want to do in this case, because the contrast of the text over the image is a little tricky, it might make it a little difficult to read. What we're going to do is we're going to click, you see where we're highlighting all of this yellow. Let me actually close out my background editor. All this yellow here, I want to click it so that we can edit it. What I want to do first is I want to take the text size on, oh, this is an image. So I want to make that image a little bit smaller. I also want to take this text size down significantly because this is going to be on mobile. And let's get rid of some of the space here. All right, so I'll say done. Still quite large. Let me see what our size is on this image. So that's a width of 139. Let's go down to 100. Perfect. And this one is at 327. Let's go down to 250 and see what that looks like. Okay. That's pretty good. We also have a massive amount of padding on top and bottom, which can be okay. But let's go ahead and now modify the element styles here. Now I want to highlight the whole section if I can. I'm not sure if I'm going to be, there we go. I'm going to highlight the whole section. And I may want to start over just because there's a lot of stuff in here and I'm not really sure what all's been done, but we'll see here in just a second. What I want to do here is add a little bit of opacity to the background, right? So that we can see this a little better. I want to add a little bit of blur to the background so that, again, what I have on top pops a little bit more. I want to increase that bottom padding because you see how our little logo down there at the bottom is a little cut off. And I want it to kind of mirror the amount of space that's at the top, right? So we're pretty close here. Let's go take a look at this on mobile and see what that looks like. Melody, you can duplicate the whole page. Yes. Okay, here we go. So I definitely see that there's way too much space up here at the top. So we want to shrink the top padding of this top section so that more information is actually shown up here at the top. So let's close out of our viewer. And then what we'll do here is click this pencil where we're going to scroll down and see we've got a ton of padding at the top. We're going to shrink that down quite a bit because we are on mobile and we don't really have a lot of time to grab somebody's attention. We want them to see what they want to see as quickly as possible. So I'm going to reduce this to about 80 on the bottom and then and the top as well, or at least, you know, somewhere roughly similar between the two visually at least. Okay, so now let's take a look at that on mobile. All right, that is definitely an improvement, right? Okay, so here again, and just a quick thing, and this is for me, under your settings leads here, you do have exit intent. I guess that's only showing up because of how I'm using this. Never mind. I thought you had more of these selected. Disregard. Okay. Now let's talk about the space here. I think that this looks fine on desktop, but on mobile devices, it looks a little cramped. So in this other case here, if we just kind of scroll down, you can see it's just right there at the top. And we just want to have a tiny bit more space there. So I'm going to duplicate the section. That's this little copy button right here, duplicate. I'm going to gray out the top one and I'm going to make the other one mobile only. Again, you can see those settings here. No mobile, yes to everything else, no to everything else. Okay, So now let's edit the padding in this section. We're going to do that by clicking this little pencil. And again, we're looking at this one right here. Got our pencil clicked, and we're going to give it padding on the top, just a touch, 15. And let's mirror that on the bottom, about the same. And now you can see, even though you see in the editor 2 duplicate sections, you only see one, and it's got just a little bit more text, or a little bit more space between the text and the edges here. One thing that I might recommend, and this is not a move that I'm going to make on your behalf, Jess, but I might consider modifying your copy in this section for the mobile version to make it a little less wordy, so that it kind of gets to the point without taking up too much visual space. Because typically when our lizard brain sees a massive chunk of text, it feels like work, and we don't like reading it. So I would consider either kind of breaking it up so that it's not just a thick paragraph. Maybe you could bold and italicize some things, or have something that you say and then have like a list with like emojis pointing to things on the sides, or just something that's just a little bit more visually interesting. You do want to, and I know you teach kids, remember that adults interact with content on the internet very similar to kids who would rather read picture books. So unless you're talking to academics, that's going to generally be true about your page design. Now, the other thing that we wanted to look at was creating a little bit of space, because if you remember over here on mobile, it got a little kind of jumbled between these, right? So you see how like right after this check out our dates, we're going straight to this guy right here, and there's no space in between. I want Greg to correct me if I am not doing this in the best way possible, but here's what I would do. I'm just going to click to edit everything, and I'm going to make sure I've got the edit content open. And all I want to do here is just go to each of these next to my button, and I'm going to hit enter once, right? Because these are all columns technically. Hit enter once. And then for this one, again, just be on the button so you know how much space you're putting in there, enter once. And then let's just go see what that looks like. You can change the padding technically in different sections and stuff, but in a 3-part template like this, it doesn't work quite the same. So here we go. So you see we've got just a little bit more space there. And that's all perfectly fine. You could even hit enter maybe one more time if you wanted to, but that gives you a little bit more space. This one, again, I would replicate and then expand a little bit the padding at the top and bottom. And again, see if maybe you shrink the text a little bit or switch up the words for this for mobile. And let's see what else. And then in this section as well, just go in and here, let's just do that real quick. We'll scroll down here, hit enter, hit over here, also enter. And then we'll take a look at mobile for that section and see what it looks like, because those are going to stack on top of each other. I love that shape. They echo the shape of the windows in the building, which is really cool. I think that's really smart branding. There we go. So it has just a little bit more space there, which is great. I would also, again, and I think this is just going to be a thing that you're going to see repeated as you are modifying pages for mobile view. If it's nice and big on a desktop, what you're going to want to do is just make a copy of it, because when it's huge like this, it doesn't look that nice on mobile. So gray it out on mobile, and then gray the mobile one out on everything else, and then just simply go in and move the text down. I think 40 is still kind of big for mobile, but let's go take a look. It depends on how much copy you have in the section, and honestly, the size of the mobile device as well. So if we scroll down, yeah, you can actually see that right there. Okay, Melody, I did not duplicate the whole page. I've only been duplicating sections of the page. So if you want to have a mobile friendly version of your site, it's not a separate page. You're just going to go to your sections and duplicate what you like that you've designed for desktop, for instance. And of course, you'll modify its settings to see where it's viewable. And then you have one page. So your home page is just your home page, but it's going to look different on different devices based on how you have set up your sections here. Okay, let's see what this part looks like down here at the bottom. That's totally fine. What I might recommend, if you use something like this, is maybe you have some kind of verbiage that says, right click this image, right? Right click this, maybe make a duplicate of this for mobile and have it say right click this image to open this on your phone or something like that. Or to download a PDF or whatever that might be, and then hyperlink this image that you've used using this insert link feature so that they can actually get in and view it, because that might be a little bit tricky for them to view on mobile in that image, just because it's got really tiny text, but it might work out fine. It kind of depends. You want to just be on your phone when you're looking at it. Okay, art camps during school breaks. Those are excellent. That looks awesome. Again, you could do the same thing that I was showing you beneath the buttons. Just click the, let's go down here. Just click your cursor right next to the image and hit enter once, right? And it doesn't do anything to the page, right? Cursor next to the image, enter once, cursor next, enter once. And then what you'll see is that you'll have just a tiny bit more space between those. And in that particular case, because they all are kind of their own designs and they look really nice next to each other, it's not such a big deal, but you can see now you have just a tiny bit more space in between. Now, finally, this down here, we are going to want to make this, make a mobile version of that section, because this is ginormous font to look at on a mobile device. So that's the final thing we'll do here. We'll make a copy. And we will make the main one, the original, not viewable on mobile. We'll make the mobile one not viewable on other devices. And then let's edit this. So that is our logo. We're going to change that down to 300 pixels. And then we're going to take this monster size font and take it down to maybe 30 something. Yep. And then this one as well, we'll take that down to somewhere in the 30s. And then this one, 24 is not a bad size, but I think that 18 is for mobile, pretty solid sort of standard size. And potentially in a lot of cases on the higher end, because people can kind of, pinch and zoom in and have different types of accessibility settings on their own devices anyway. So now there we go. That's so much easier to read, right? That is that. So I am excited for, oh, no, we need to fix that one too. Just kidding. All right, this final one. This is actually the final one. We're going to duplicate it. We're going to, oops, we're going to gray it out for mobile. We're going to gray out mobile on the other devices. And then we're just going to go in here and we're going to swap out the size of this font because it's quite large. So we'll make this one 32. And then for all of these bullet points, which are 31, we're going to take those down to 18 to 20. Oops. Let me Control Z. Let me get the rest of that. There we go. I'm going to get all of the text here selected. And then we're going to take that down to, we'll do 20. It's quite a bit better. And I'm going to remove one space there. And let's go take a look at what that looks like on mobile. Looking a lot better. And one other thing that you could do as well, oh, here, you see how that's really close to the footer? Let's go ahead and fix that. All you got to do is click your pencil and let's add some bottom padding. Voila. And one more thing I just noticed, and this is in this section up here that's got the buttons, or was it that one with the buttons? Where did it go? This one. Okay, you see how the buttons are right underneath the text, right? There are ways that you can actually go in and modify, the spacing and everything using the element styles guy here, but you could also, again, just go like this. I'm just hitting enter once after my text, because the button is in with the content. So let's just go make sure that that looks the way we want it to. And that'll be affected, of course, on mobile and on desktop. There we go. So we've got just a little bit more space there. Awesome. Yeah, and that's basically it. The whole idea here is you're going to be toggling between your regular view. So it's a WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get editor when you're looking at it this way on a desktop computer or a laptop. If you want to view it on other devices, you can simply click and view what it will look like on a mobile device. If you don't love the way that it looks, but you do love the way that it looks on desktop, then simply make a copy and then make the copy viewable on mobile. Make the original not viewable on mobile, and then make your modifications so that it looks the way that you would love for it to look on your published site. So let's go take a look at our published site so you can see that nothing has changed aside from a couple of little tiny tweaks for her homepage. This is how she wanted it. It's how she likes it. And this is good to go on her homepage on desktop. But you can actually see, and it's not wholly accurate because this is a desktop computer and my browser can only shrink so small. But when we shrink it all the way down, you can actually see that changes automatically, right? And this is on her published page. So thank you, Jess, for being willing to have us get at it right there. I figured that would be really helpful for everybody, and I hope that made a lot of sense to you. So yeah, I hope that made sense. Melody, yeah, we're not duplicating the whole page unless we're using a page for a completely different purpose. You just duplicate sections. How do I replace my homepage with a landing page? Yeah, let's go look at that real quick, Tsitsi. That is going to be over here in your AttractWell dashboard. When you go to customize my site, you can actually select what you'd like your homepage to be from here, right? So that's here. So you choose whatever that's going to be. And then if you're very specifically talking about a landing page, then put that here, right? Select whatever that landing page is here, because that'll go in front of whatever page you want on your website. If you want people to not be able to get to any content at all without crossing a barrier of a landing page, you could actually do that by using this require landing page to visit right here. Okay. And there are other options too. If you wanted to, but can we do that with a site menu, Greg? Like to have like a landing page as the homepage?
No, not with the site menu. It has to be through that setting you just showed there. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, is there a resource bundle for landing pages? I don't think that we have provided one yet. It's always been kind of contextual and specific. And they, of course, the landing pages have so many just like built in, ready to go sort of formatting. We definitely have inside of our different courses and resources that you have access to different options. Like, so for instance, a page that you would use as a landing page, right? A page that collects leads to give away your free thing. Like we have that in the Client Funnel Challenge. That is your landing page for your funnel. So that is something that we do give away, but it's in the context of that course. So yeah, with landing pages generally, we usually give away templates because it's literally you're adding your words and you're swapping an image and you set up the settings and you're good to go. But if you ever want help with creating one for you, then please let us know and we're more than happy to help you make sure that we get that done. Let me see. And yeah, in your case, Susan, just, referring to the one that I was recommending earlier today. Let me actually, give me just a second. Not in your account. Okay, here we go. All right, so when we're logged into your account, you're going to go over to your landing pages. And that's right here. And that landing page, again, I would just choose something like this, super simple. Whatever you're offering from that Canva page that you have right now, have that be, an image of that right here. So upload an image from Canva here. And then you're just going to basically be reiterating whatever the offer is that you are making on that page. So make sure that it's congruent between the two. Picture of what you're offering, verbiage about what you're offering. And then where I would send them after the fact, and that's going to be over here under settings. Send them to a confirmation page, like you signed up, good job, whatever. I would put that right here. And then in your campaign that you're attaching here, that's where you're going to want to send whatever the freebie is. Send it in the email and then send them to a confirmation page that says, hey, check your email on the other side of the landing page. Awesome. We are so grateful for you guys, and thank you for all of your time and great questions here today. We will be back same time next week. If you have not done so already, go make sure that you have accessed the first workshop of the lunch challenge. You're going to love it. And we look forward to working with you more here and there. And of course, there are loads of templates and things that you can use inside of that workshop too. So thank you guys, and we will see you again same time next week. Take care.